Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the number one most valuable real estate community in existence. Today we are going to have a fantastic mastermind. We're going to be breaking down some key principles as to how people in this industry can get started. We're going to talk about what's going on in our businesses. We're going to utilize this opportunity to get connected in that side chat. You got to let people know who you are, where you're at, and what you do. You'd be surprised. Your future business partner is waiting for you right here in this channel. You never know who's in these rooms and what types of opportunities you can create just by letting people know about what you are actively pursuing in this industry. We've got Mr. Saadai joining us today. We'd love to open it up and give everybody an opportunity to take some time to ask and answer questions. So if you've got any real estate related questions, ask them here. This is an incredible mastermind with 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs, and you are in proximity with them here. So how is everybody doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning. We've got Mr. Rush, Chase, Christian, Diego, Aisada, Hardy, Alex, Sport. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an amazing opportunity. If you haven't already, make sure that you're using your real name. If you don't know how to adjust your nickname on Discord, that is totally fine. Drop it in the side chat and we will get you adjusted so that people know who they're doing business with. You would be surprised how much it actually influences your online presence, especially within this community. We got Sean, Chris, Donnell, Kylie, Jay, Matt, JW, Don. We got Isaac. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Jay asked what I got going on today. Today is going to be an interesting day. I'm getting closer to closing on half an acre in Hartford City, Indiana. I'm going to be sending over some LLC documents today to get that deal closed out. And just brainstorming on what exactly I'm going to be doing with that lot. The plan is to put some mobile homes there and allow people to rent them. I'm excited. A lot of interesting stuff. Appreciate it. That was an agent outreach lead. You'd be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, just by picking up the phone and talking to other professionals, telling them, hey, I'm active in the area. I've got another deal closing here soon. I wanted to reach out and see maybe if you had anything available. That guy just so happened to have 4 lots back to back that form half an acre, and I bought all 4 lots for $1,000. Can't beat these prices. Yep. The situation was they are going through an estate sale. So they inherited all of these properties, I'm assuming, from, grandpa. Grandpa passed away, and they're waiting on, these 4 lots to close for them to receive the, hundreds of thousands of other dollars worth of real estate that he had in his portfolio. And I figured, hey, if they need to get this sold, I'm happy to give them that $1,000 to get it closed out. And so for me offering that, the agent thought I was joking, right? They were surprised that I would have the audacity to offer $1,000, but I had the situational awareness to be able to understand, hey, well, if they can close out on these last 4 lots, they get access to all that other money as well. We've got Mr. Bob Saadai, the one and only, the legend, joining us this morning. How are you doing today, Mr. Bob Saadai? Fantastic. I was just sharing about the 4 lots that I put under contract last week for half an acre, and I negotiated. It was an agent outreach lead that came through, and I offered $1,000 for the 4 lots. The agent thought that I was joking, but I was serious, and they accepted the offer. Yep.
So how would you go about overcoming this objection?
What are they asking for on the lots?
They initially were asking for 50 per lot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we came back at, I believe, 7,500 per lot. And we are down now to 13,750 per lot, but we need to be around 10. So
I
we've
understand.
negotiated good enough, well, but the land itself really isn't as valuable as they think it is. They're always okay, so just like most sellers and most realtors, they're always looking, and wholesalers, unfortunately, they're looking at potential. We
Right.
don't buy potential, okay? If the potential is there, great. But we can't rely on potential to make a purchase, or else we're going to lose our ass. Ask me how I know. Okay, so you cannot buy based on potential. You got to buy based on reality of today. What is the properties today? Okay, so that's the situation. So we're negotiating it right now, and hopefully we'll get it done. I mean, if they can come down to, let's say, even 12, 12.5, I'll probably pull the trigger because the value that we're getting on the property itself, the house, is nice. It'll overcome the other, losses. So, what would you do? Since you're the land expert, I don't, that's not my expertise, but I'd like to hear
Well,
your thoughts.
the first thing that I notice is that this is a situation where it's going through probate, right? So they need to get it sold, right? They want this to be done with.
Hmm.
Um,
Well,
I
it's
look at
already
it
gone through probate, so it's done.
so it's
They can sell at any time.
perfect. So they don't want to draw out the process anymore, right? They want to get this over with.
Correct. Yep.
So that's a plus. Now they originally started at $50,000, you said, and you've negotiated them down
Hmm.
all the way to 13,000 and some change.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I would, in this situation, try to maybe pull away and see, hey, I mean, have you thought about listing it? I mean, I understand that you want the house, right? And you're telling me that they can't sell that house without selling those other two lots. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
It's yeah. Hmm. Sorry.
even if you were to list it, do you think that there is a buyer out there that would pay 15 or $20,000 for it?
Possibly. Again, land is not my expertise, so that's why I'm deferring to you on it.
Okay.
But
So I would take a look and
I
I
don't
would
know.
see, what has sold in terms of lots, go and look at the lot sizes and make a
Yeah,
comparison.
we did that. Hmm.
And I mean, if it makes sense, maybe you could novate those lots and prepare yourself to close on the house.
Right. Interesting. Okay. They want it sold as a package though, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but yeah, doable. Definitely doable. I like that. Okay.
What would you say, Bob?
Let
Because
me
I
let me
mean,
bring it.
the numbers are what the numbers are. You can only offer them so much for it to be a deal.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I mean, if they're not willing, to accept an offer, what would you do? Would you walk from the deal?
Yeah, we normally stick to our guns and to our prices. So if again, we come from an abundance mentality. Okay. If this deal doesn't work, it's not going to kill us. We're not going to die. We're not going to suffer. We're not going to have, not like we're not going to have food on our tables. So we look at most deals objectively. Okay. So if the numbers, like you said, don't work, we will pull, we will pull away and walk. Even though there's probably profit on the house, if we're going to lose money or make very very little money, we're probably going to pull back.
I
So
see Sean
uh
has a great suggestion. He's suggesting that you get more off the house. Is there more negotiation or wiggle room on the house?
not really. They're giving it a very good price to us right now. The house is in good condition, doesn't need much work. ARV is about 335, 340. We're getting it at 230 already. They're not going to go lower than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, thanks for Sean. Yeah, I guess we could do that. We could go back to the drawing board and see what they'll do. Cool. Now, I got another situation.
Okay.
A little on what a buyer is looking for. Yeah, we've done that, Rush. Hey,
Good
Sean.
morning, Sean.
Hello there.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
Yeah, my thought on it was just, sometimes, when you're dealing with trying to go from 13 to 10, it sounds like a big step, and sometimes people will take 10,000 off of another 10,000 off the deal of the house. It's just a way you're just looking at total numbers. You don't care how it comes out. So
Mhm.
that's why I suggested, hey, go back to the house and just say, I think we can make this work. Let's talk about a package deal, all of them for X number of price, instead of trying to break them down to each one is worth.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we've tried as well. And I mean, when we got them down to 13,750, they were like kicking and scratching and crying and yelling and
I can imagine. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, their expectation was 200K for 4 lots, and we have them down to what? Let's say 48K, somewhere around there. So, bit of a jump, and but they're still talking, which is a great sign, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe we will go back and talk about the house a little bit. Maybe if I can get it down to from 234 to like 229 or something like that, then it's more appealing. I mean, even if we don't make money on the lots or very little, at least we know that we're going to make it up on the house. So, but yeah, that's a great thought. Thank you.
Shave a little here, shave a little there.
That's
It all
it.
adds up.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Nip,
good
nip,
luck
tuck,
with it.
tuck.
It sounds like a
I
great
appreciate
one.
it. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Kevin Flores, long time no talk, buddy. How you been? I know John said hold your thought, but not this long. You can release the thoughts now. Out loud, please.
Can you hear us, Kevin?
Can you guys hear me?
There we go. How you doing, buddy?
Face.
There he is.
Cool. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, guys? So I got a potential tired landlord, but I can't find any comps that kind of sustain his price point that he wants. It's one of these
That is
weird
so
homes.
funny you bring that up.
It's one of
This
these weird
morning-
homes where. Oh, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
I'm sorry. It's just a thought that popped into my mind. This morning, John, I was thinking about, when we actually started this live stream back in January of 23.
Yeah.
And initially, the whole thought was, hey, how can we help? Come in if you need help with comps and stuff like that. And that's what we were mainly doing was comps changed and how more sophisticated and complex they've gotten. So it's funny that you bring up comps right now. But go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Yeah, it's one of these weird homes where they built like a mother-in-law suite in the back, so it kind of adds on to the house. So
Sure.
the house alone is a 4-2 and then a 1-1 in
Okay.
the back. Now,
Okay.
in like I want to say like a half-mile radius, I've only found one home, and it's like 580. The guy wants 600, but he does have a bigger lot. But I can't find anything outside of like 1 to 2, even 3 miles. I tried searching and I just couldn't find anything that sustains his price point.
Go back on time.
Gotcha.
Instead of looking at the last 6 months, look at the last 12 months. If you can't find it, go last 18 months. Okay.
Would
And
that still be
worst case
accurate
scenario, last
information?
24 months.
Okay, because I know the market changes, so price points do change as well.
Yeah, of course. But it sounds like this is in a neighborhood where most of the houses are probably going to be custom houses. They're not similar. And it's going to be just tough. honestly, the best way to do it is say, hey, have you ever had this property appraised? Okay.
Gotcha.
Send an appraiser. Okay. What if we split the cost on the appraisal so that we have an actual value on the property? And then I can tell you how much I can buy it from you for.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Yeah. Because
Okay.
the
I
guy
mean,
said
that's
he
worst case
makes.
scenario.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, he says he makes 4,900 a month from the property, which I don't know if he's yanking my tail or not.
As
But
what? A long-term rental or a short-term rental?
yeah, long-term tenants.
Okay. 4,900. Where is
Yeah.
this property at?
It's in Palm Beach County, Palm Springs.
Okay.
So I looked at
4211.
the yeah,
Okay.
4211. So I looked at the the rent estimate. So I mean for a 4.2 you can get like 3,800. So I mean he might be right on the money there. So
Well, we
it does
always say
sound like
what?
a cash
Trust but
value though.
verify, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you agree with it? Oh, that's fantastic. You're making 4,900. I see that
Hmm.
comparable rents are around 3,800. So you're doing really good on that. And I'm sure you can provide the rent roll and the T12 on it too, right? When it comes down to time for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
let them know that, hey, you're going to verify this. You're not just going to take someone's word.
All right, beautiful. So yeah, I'll roll back the time here and see how far I can go back and try to find any comps
Yeah,
for
that's the
that
first thing
property.
I would do.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then,
Um,
is it like in a gated area in Palm Springs? Is it like
no,
a
it's like an
desirable
open
area?
neighborhood.
Open neighborhood. Okay.
Um, I can't say desirable area, but people will buy in the area. It's not the worst of areas.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, good luck. Let me know how it goes, and if you need any other help, let me know. What
Perfect.
do you think?
Thank
What
you.
are you seeing as so you're seeing the ARV at around 580, and he's asking 600?
Well, based off Zillow's estimate was like 730,000, which I don't know where they got the estimate from, but it doesn't sound right at all. The last home that sold in that area was, I think, early July, June, and it sold at 580, and it was a 5.3. So bedrooms and bathrooms matches up. So I kind of took the square footage of what that home sold for, which is like $303 per square foot,
Mm,
and that house was recently renovated. So new flooring, new kitchen, new roof, I
okay.
think. So I took that 303 and just multiplied it by his square footage, and I came up with 630. But I just don't know how that's gonna hold up if the last home that sold was 580.
Do you have access to the MLS?
I do not.
Okay.
I
Reach
can
out
get
to me, and I'll see what I can do for you as far as pulling comps. Okay.
okay, beautiful. Yep.
And good morning, baby. How what's the condition of the property?
It's I mean it's a livable condition. It's just everything looks old. So like you can even tell by the electrical faceplates that the house hasn't been renovated in a while. So
Okay. So I
cosmetic
mean,
and maybe bathrooms would probably need to be updated.
and he's aware of that,
Yeah, he's aware of that.
and yet he's still asking for 600.
Yeah, I'm trying to anchor him at a lower point, but I'm just not sure where I can anchor him at. Because even if I
So
offer
work the
580,
numbers
that's
with
gonna be
him.
too high. Okay.
Work the numbers with him. Say, hey, Mr. Seller, how can I ask how you came up with that price in your mind
Mhm.
of 600? I mean, did you have access to comps or anything like that that shows that, comparable houses around you sold for at least 750 for you to justify 600? I mean, if they sold for 700,000 or 750,000, right? Then after we fix your property up, update it, because my buyers are mostly millennials and they don't want to touch anything. They just want to walk into a beautiful house. Okay, they don't want to work on it at all. So I got to do all the repairs and rehab and upgrades. So there's some cost involved for me. So if
Gotcha.
the most I can get for it is 700, okay, and I'm not saying that that's probably even the right ARV on it. But if it is, you know, uh, based on the square footage of your house, I probably need to spend anywhere between 100 and 120,000 because I can't put the cheap Home Depot stuff in your house. I got to put some nice stuff in there. So it's going to cost me some money. And then I need to make a little bit of money too. I also have other costs like closing costs, holding costs, all of this stuff. So this is how I'm coming up with my number. And that's how you anchor them low.
Gotcha. Okay. I shot you a message, Bob.
Cool. All right. I'll look it up and I'll let you know the comps.
Beautiful. Thank you, Bob.
You got it. Nice. So who else? Who else in here has a challenge in their business?
A couple people up. I'll share what's going on right now with my novations, man. I'm getting beat up on some of these. They've been sitting for a while. I had this one lady on board. She was telling me, okay, well, I got it at a great price. Then there was a wholesaler before me that pretty much ruined, the idea of a wholesaler in these guys' world. And I had to come in and fix his mess. He left the MLS listing, pending and this kind of thing. And it took me like a couple of weeks to get this stuff cleared up. I was calling the broker that listed it.
Wow.
It was a flat fee listing service, and I had to get through that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I found a family that wants to move from Mobile, Alabama to Centinel, Alabama, to bring the grandma with them. And they've got a beautiful house, Bob. It's on the water. It's on a lake out there. And I believe that it is priced to sell. Now, the seller is pretty much bugging out, saying, oh, well, our agreement is going to end on the 8th of October, and that's it. Whereas, we actually have 60 business days on our agreement. So it's really the 4th of November that the agreement should end. And I'm trying to appease her and give her, money, like non-refundable earnest, right? I'm not even going to profit off of it. I'm going to give her $1,600 check delivered to her, and I'm going to increase the amount of money on the purchase price so that she actually nets what I promised her, being that $100,000 for the house because of the holding time and her making the mortgage payment or whatever, right? And for whatever reason, she's stressed out with her job or whatever. She's in a bad mood, and she says, "I'm not signing anything. I don't want to move forward. I want to restart this process with somebody else." And I'm really shocked because logically, it didn't make sense that she wouldn't accept the offer, given that it seems as though I've solved all of her problems. She's not going to walk away with nothing. She wouldn't have wasted her time allowing me to do, my process and everything. But I guess she just got in this mentality where she just doesn't want to work with me for whatever reason. Now the husband, super cool. He recognizes what I'm doing, recognizes the value that I'm bringing to the table, and wants to work with me, trying to convince the wife. But what would you do in a situation like that, Bob or Sean or anybody, where the wife is saying like, "No, well, I don't want to do this," and she's the decision maker, right? Her name is the one on title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd go back and start building that rapport again. Go dig deeper on the rapport and build it stronger. Okay? There's some mistrust. Something happened. Something she saw from you or your actions that raised a red flag for her. And that's why she's acting up like this. I mean, if you're planning on closing by November 4th, if she starts all over again with somebody else, she's probably not going to close before then. So time-wise, it doesn't make sense for her. What's her motivation? What's her pain?
I mean,
And
go ahead, Sean.
I was just going to say, this sounds sexist, but it's not. A lot of times when you're dealing with the wife, it's not about logic. So you can't fix it by saying that doesn't make sense or being logical. It's about emotion.
Sure.
So probably what's going on is, the wives are the ones that are usually looking at budgets and stressing out about those things, right? And again, this is just in general. So when you're dealing with the wife and she's having issues, make it more of an emotional discussion about how, what, I hear you, and it sounds like you've got a lot of issues that are really bothering you. Is there something that I've done that's upset you?
There
Is
you
there
go.
something I
That's
can
what I
do
was
to
going
fix
towards.
it? So it's about emotion. It really is.
Yeah. Yep. We normally put it on 2 or 3 things. Have I done something to offend you? Right. So obviously we had a deal and something happened. Was it me? Was it the purchase price? Was it the something else? What happened? What changed? So exactly what Sean is saying. That's exactly where I was going to. That's why I said build rapport, dig deeper.
And I'll tell you a funny little story very quickly, but
Am I going to
I
laugh?
had a well, I think so, but I had a deal. I was brand new in real estate, and I got sent over to talk to this husband and wife that were going through a divorce, and they were both in the room. They both hated each other, and because the husband was the one that called me over to do the pitch, right? She hated me. She just was. I mean, the whole time I was there, she was attacking, and I just kept using the emotion with her. I would just say, that sounds terrible. I've got to do what I can to get you guys out of this situation. And I stuck to my guns. I was very calm and never let anything bother me. I got that listing. I sold that house. And 2 years later, she wrote me a letter apologizing. She told me point
Wow.
blank. She told me point blank, she went there to do nothing but give me crap because of the horrible place she was
Wow.
at that time in her life. And I didn't take it personally, but
Yeah.
you have to realize that people have things going on that sometimes you're not even aware of. So if
Right.
this woman is all pissed off and you truly did nothing, it's probably something that's going on in her life. So sympathize with her. Ask her, hey, is there something else that's going on in your life that's causing this? Because I'm on your side. I'm here to help you get this done.
I'm so glad that I brought
Mastery
this.
expert. Right
I'm so glad I brought this to the mastermind because I was thinking like pure logic, right? I'm thinking, oh well, I'm solving your problem, right? You don't have to pay for the last 2 months. You're worried about the bills. This is the perfect solution. And I was getting to the point where my patience was getting very thin, right? Because I'm making the calls, I'm trying to juggle all these things and find a solution, and she's still telling me no. I'm almost like, well, we have an agreement, we're gonna follow it this way. So I'm gonna definitely try to take the other approach that you and Bob presented, being that I've got to be more emotional and create that connection, understand, well, really, what is going on? It's obvious this lady is stressed out about something, but I mean, I got to figure out, like you said, have I done something to offend you? Is it the price? Is it what is the friction here, right? Because we're right here at the closing table. She shared that she's concerned about the amount of time it's going to take for the other family to sell their house, and she's like, "Oh, well, it could sit on the market for 2 years. We don't know, da da da." And I'm like, "Well, we're just asking for this amount of time," and I'm trying to reason that with logic, but these are interesting takeaways, and I'm gonna try to go the emotional route and see what the response is, and I'll bring it back and let y'all know how it goes.
Awesome. So it sounds
Cool.
like you had half of it right. You are trying to solve a problem for her. It's just that, it's an emotional problem that you're trying to solve now compared to a logistical or logical problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep us in mind. Let us know what's going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your time, your opportunity to come up and ask Sean, John, and me any issues that you have in your business. Are we all know-it-alls? Absolutely not. But we might have a little bit more experience than you guys, and we might be able to guide you in the right way. Or not. I mean, I'll be the first one to say, hey, I don't know, if I don't know. Okay? But don't miss out on these opportunities. Come here with the challenges that you had yesterday, last week, 2 months ago. Share so that you can learn. There you go. How's it going, Chris?
Hey, good morning, guys. What's going on, everybody?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain.
Great.
So, um, so I'm at this point now where I'm finally submitting offers, and
Okay.
I'm scheduled to go out on an appointment this Saturday. I just have to call the seller to confirm, but I haven't locked up anything So I was wondering, would it be best to lock it up in the contract in person, or should I have it locked up before I go out and see the property?
I'll
It's
give
two
you.
hours away, by the way.
Okay, 2 hours away. Okay, that was one of
Yeah.
the questions. So I'll give you my feedback. Um, is it a deal? First of all, have you run your numbers? Have you analyzed the property?
Yes, I did. I did all the diligence. It is a deal
Okay.
so far. If the condition turns out to be, what she says over the phone, then it is a deal.
Is it a hot market that people are all over after?
Um, y- I would say so. It's an active market. It's in Penns Grove, New Jersey, which is more southern. It's South Jersey, and I've been finding more success in South Jersey than Northern Jersey because the median sales price is below 400, and yeah, it's an active market. The ARV is going for about 450, 400, and she said that she can do the high 200s. I told her at first the mid 200s, but she said that the high 200s would work. So I'm figuring if I, lock it up at 270, try to dispo it at around 300.
So it comes down to the condition, it sounds like. It sounds like you probably have it close to where it should be, okay? But you need to see what the condition is. It's 2 hours away. Is 2 hours away, 2 hours of driving one way, 2 hours driving the other way, worth a 30K check to you? I don't know. I've driven
Yeah,
for less than that, right?
yeah,
So I would definitely consider going there. For me, belly to belly is always the best way. Does it happen all the time? Absolutely not. I can't. I'm in Southern California. Most of my deals are in either Northern California, Texas, Florida. Of course, I do Southern California too. But I mean, I can't be belly to belly. But that's why we need to build rapport so much. Okay, so strong.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. If
buddy.
it came down to it, I definitely wouldn't mind making that drive. I've actually been in touch with one of the other community members in here to see if he could be my boots on the ground over
Okay.
there, since he's a little bit closer. But another concern is getting her locked in over the phone. She's older. I'm not sure if like when I first brought it up to her, she seemed a little bit skeptical about signing something.
That was going
You
to
know,
be my question. Yeah, I was going
yeah,
to bring that up and say, a lot of times it's based on the age and the tech
Mm.
savvy of the people that are older. Because if they're in a situation where they're not trustworthy online, right? They're just not going to feel comfortable about it. So the other thing you can do is, if they're open, when you were talking to her, if she had been open to signing something, you could always get it signed and still go and meet her, because that way, if you needed to renegotiate something right then, you could do it. But yeah,
yeah.
I would say, if based on the conversation that you have with them and the rapport that you get with them, if you can get it over the internet, do it. That's perfect. It saves you time and it's efficient. But a lot of people, like I have an appointment today that I have to go, and I've already sat down with this guy for an hour and a half because he's older, he's a preacher, he's come out and said he doesn't want to discuss any of this over the phone.
Gotcha. Yeah, no,
Yep.
I hear you. Gotcha. Yeah, I was unsure if it was something that that I should do in person or over the phone.
In
Yeah.
Yeah.
general, if you can get something if you can get something and you're confident that you can get it over the phone, take it over the phone because it's quick, it's efficient, and you've got something in writing. That's always better than saying, well, I can't do it because I have to meet them, and I can't meet them for 2 weeks or, something like that. So don't let it stop you from getting something over the phone. But again, if you're, just ask her, come out and say, hey, a lot of times we do things all over the internet. Are you good with that, or would you like to meet me in person?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
A solution, I guess, which would be a hybrid of it, would be a Zoom meeting. It's not the best, but it's better than nothing. If they can see you, see that you're a real person, that you're genuine, that you really care, that you want to solve the problem, but you're just too far away, a Zoom meeting could help.
Yeah. Now for like say if this was like a virtual deal, what would be a way to convince them to have something signed before I send somebody out there to take a look at it?
I have never been able to convince anybody to do anything. So
Yeah.
if you're thinking about convincing, get that out of your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to show them why it's the best. You're the best solution. Okay. Otherwise, they're going to back out. They're going to fight. Red flags are going to be raised. They're not going to be happy. They're going to have remorse. So don't ever try to convince anybody. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why you always need to build rapport so that they can see who you are, that you're a real person, that you're genuine, okay, that you care about them, okay, and that you want to solve their problems, okay. Once you build that rapport, then you can get into the numbers. Show them, hey, this is what's going on. This is the property that you have around you. The properties are selling for this price. This is the condition that they're in when they get sold. This is your condition. And you just show them by facts at that point, okay? And you continuously are building that rapport.
Okay? Gotcha.
So
okay.
Don't try to convince anybody of anything. It'll backfire. At least that's been my experience.
Totally
I hear you.
Totally agree. People do business with people still at the end of the day, even though they've got all the technology and everything else. If you can establish rapport over the phone, you're doing a great job. People will do whatever you need. If you can't, then like Bob said, take it to the hybrid. Some people just they're visual. They want to see you. So a Zoom meeting can be a way of seeing you. And then there's other people that they don't like technology at all. They just want to meet belly to belly, talk to you.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, well, that's pretty much all my questions as of right now.
Awesome.
I appreciate it, guys.
Very good questions. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Good luck. Keep us abreast of what's going on. Okay.
Got you. Will do for sure.
Great show so far today, man. We've got a lot of great questions, a lot of great people popping up and sharing. Take advantage of this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your hand, come and join us up on stage.
What I want to know is why Dante isn't joining us, man. We should be hearing from the man himself.
There he is. Here he is.
How you been, buddy?
Players? Happy Wednesday.
Happy.
I'm swimming in the middle of the ocean right now. Apparently there's a hurricane coming. It's a big deal. I don't know. I'm trying to go surfing.
You're such a macho man. Come on now.
I've never heard belly to belly. I was like, this is wild.
You've never heard belly to belly?
I mean, I've heard face to face, but
Face
not
to
belly
face,
to belly.
Belly to belly, knee to knee? No? All right. I'm an old fart. That's why.
Right.
How you been, man? It's good to hear from you.
I've been locked in, man. Obviously, I don't know if y'all saw. Just got back from Costa Rica. Was amazing. We have some opportunities out there we're working on now, and I'm excited. I'm going back. I'm gonna go meet John in Chile too. I owe John a trip because John came to visit me in San Diego. So
awesome,
John, I'm coming.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be here much longer, man. I'm gonna definitely come back here, but I'll probably head out to Colombia here soon.
I mean, that's not a bad alternative. So I'll
Yeah.
see you out there, I guess. Uh,
Well, before you buy your plane tickets, make sure you know where John is first, I guess.
We'll coordinate.
yeah.
But man,
So, how's business
Um,
going for you, Dante?
Not much, man. I think. Well, I was talking to Brito about this deal. I think he was talking to me about the same thing with the driving and some things. I think Bob kind of hit it on the head. You know, are you willing to drive for 30 grand? Now, is there that chance that you might not get that 30 grand? Yes, but
Of course.
you'll never know if you don't go. Right
That's right.
now, I've driven 4 hours for a deal just to find out that it wasn't a deal.
Yep.
Okay. And it's just what it is. Like if you got to figure out what you really want to do, if you're willing to do what it takes, that you got to do it. That's pretty much what it is. Like you got to be willing to do what it takes. And so if you're still trying to get your first deal and you're hesitant about if you should drive 2 hours, stop hesitating. Drive the 2 hours. Might turn out good, might turn out bad, but at least it turned out into an experience.
Absolutely. I think I was just thinking about it. The longest I drove for a check was from here in Orange County to San Francisco.
Right.
I drove to San Francisco. It took me 5.5, 6 hours, one way, and signed up, got the check, drove right back, same day.
Right.
But so what? I made money.
Right.
So it's just the mentality and how bad do you really want it.
Right.
So
Right.
I completely agree.
So, man, what are you working on these days?
Me personally?
Yeah. So now you had a lot of deals in. You were pretty locked in at one point.
Yeah, it's heavy. My partner has gone on a trip, a 3-week trip as well. It was his birthday, and one of his bucket lists was to go back to the old town in Sicily and
Ooh.
visit the
Is that
great
where they're selling? Aren't
grandfather.
they selling houses for $1 there or something?
Maybe that's why he's going there. But he's there right now with all the family members over there, brothers, sisters. So I got to run the entire thing right now myself. I was mainly working on Dispo, but now I'm more involved with acquisitions and Dispo at the same time.
Right.
But
I
it's cool.
heard the VA kind of fell through. Wanted to kind of talk with you offline about that, see if we could try to figure out a way to amend that.
Oh, yeah. No big deal.
Yeah.
Found another
Well, 'cause
one.
I think we kind of started switching up the training. They've been training with me like twice a week, and
Cool.
we've been listening to calls and kind of going over with them, and they're getting better. I got one guy, he said he locked up like 5 leads cold calling in one day, which, I mean, obviously doesn't happen very often, but I thought it was pretty impressive to hear like their growth. So
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it.
let me see. What else? What are we working on right now? I got oh, also, if you guys are getting anything in San Diego, let me just, if in case you're not in the chat, if you get anything in San Diego that's got 7,500 square foot lot with lot space, can y'all send that my way? Because we're willing to pay close to retail value for properties like that need work, especially if it's near San Diego State. We had a deal. I think we locked it up for, man, I want to say 880. I can't remember what we locked it up for, but all the buyers were like at, I don't know, 890, 900. And we were looking for 950. We ended up putting it on the MLS as an ovation and found a developer who was willing to give us the price, and pretty much they're going to add, I think, 6 units to it. And so we're working really close with them on the development side. I'm still waiting for my GC license to come in from San Diego so we can start getting the permits to build stuff. So anything in San Diego that you have that might be like, oh, nobody's biting on it, or maybe the flippers are saying it's too high, the numbers are too tight, those might be good development deals, guys. So never underestimate a deal that you might have, especially if it's in San Diego, 7,500 square foot or higher in San Diego City. So, because you know you have San Diego County, right? Like Bob's in Orange County, but what city are you in, Bob?
I'm in Aliso Viejo.
Aliso, that's a really nice area. So Bob's rich. So
Thanks for throwing that out there. I appreciate it.
yeah, so you know Orange County is Orange County, but Aliso Viejo is like a little spot in Orange County. So like San Diego has San Diego itself, and then you have, you know, I don't know, Oceanside, Carlsbad, Encinitas, Mission Valley, right? So these are all little cities within the county. I'm talking about San Diego City itself. If you guys get anything like that. Now, I know a lot of people talk about don't get into San Diego because I would do vacant land. Yeah. Vacant land with a small structure, but it's got to be 7,500 square foot or more. And then depends on the area. So I'm willing to look at it. But guys, I do want to tell you too, because I know a lot of people are really big on trying to stay in markets that are a little bit low hanging fruit, but I will say the margins in California have been really good to us, especially if you're a closer. One of my closers has been killing it out there to the point where we just closed on a 100K assignment like last month, and then we have another one. The development deal we're doing, it was one house, nobody wanted to buy it. Matter of fact, another developer reached out to me because we're kind of known for like what does Ed call me? The deal resurrector. He said, "You're the deal resurrector now," right? So we're taking these dead deals and we're trying to figure out what we can do with them. And so because of that, people are starting to reach out to kind of help them with their deals. Come to find out, the house that he needed to move, he had just put up $25,000 of his EMD that is now exposed because he went past the inspection period. So he was reaching out to me to find him a buyer because he just wanted his EMD back. So he needed only $850. I come to bring it to my developer. My developer was willing to pay $925. So it was a $75K spread, and he's willing to let me jump in on the deal for a portion of my fee. So I gave up a little bit of my fee to actually jump in and get an equity position on this development deal so I can see how it works, right? So
Man, I don't know if people are picking this stuff up or not, but Dante is throwing so many golden nuggets in just this one last conversation. Dead deals, giving up a little bit of your fee just to learn.
Yeah.
You know, these are awesome tips that people should take into consideration.
You know what? I get a lot of people, and that's funny you say that because I do get a lot of people, they reach out, they're saying how they've been doing deals and sharing with other people, and now they want to take the whole pie. So they want to learn to do it themselves. That's fine, but you need to learn.
Yeah.
You need to learn this business. So like I had somebody reach out about 2 lots in Houston. Come to find out it's a probate issue, right? They wanted him to fill out an affidavit of heirship. For all of you guys that don't know what an affidavit of heirship is, it means, owner of the house died. It was then passed on to next of kin, which next of kin is being heirs, right? The sons, the daughters, their grandkids, whatever. And so only one person was actually taking care of the property and paying the taxes, which was our seller. So he didn't want to involve the other family members because, once you start involving family members with houses and money's involved, it can become a very, very messy situation. So he feel like he lost this deal. This deal was supposed to close 6 months ago and never closed, right? So reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I got this probate issue. I need to figure it out." Well, we were able to figure it out, and now we have it. Now we have a buyer for it. I think it's like we got it for $210. I think we got a buyer at $270 right now. So what is that? $60K assignment?
Let's go. That's in California.
Something that we could have just. No, that's in Houston. There's 2 Houston lots.
Houston.
Just posted that last night.
Are you doing development in Houston too?
I'm not doing development. I'm just selling the lots.
Gotcha.
I'm just selling the lots. Yeah, I want to stick to California just because.
Yeah.
For me, the percentage of equity increase annually is higher than any other state.
Yeah.
Plus, these developers that I'm working with, they're kind of big time. They're like really big time. Like they're you know, the type of people you want to be in their corner. You want to kind of like, and the cool thing is they have almost unlimited funds to buy stuff, but they have no idea how to do acquisitions. None. So that's where my value comes in, right? So a lot of y'all don't realize this, but actually being good at acquisitions is a rare skill. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but nowadays it seems like everyone's doing dispo. Hey, I got a buyer for this. Hey, I got a buyer for that. But nobody ever, can go, hey, I got a closer that'll help you lock up your contract. So somebody once told me, if you can learn to find the deals, the money will always come to you. Right? So I got really, really good at learning how to find the deals and close the deals. That's like my specialty, is locking stuff up. I mean, the kid literally brought it to me, looked at the probate. We got on the phone with the seller. I said, hey, we're going to probably end up having to go to probate court. He doesn't have money for probate court. So guess who's going to have to put up some of the money? Your boy, right? But you guys know I'm not going to put up anything without getting anything in writing, right? So, and also I need the price to be at an amount that makes sense for me. So we were able to get the price we needed, found the buyer we needed, got the probate stuff going, ended up finding paperwork for this. That's funny, Ray. I'd sound like John Cena, but you should have saw me with long hair. I look like Roman Reigns. But so long story short,
He's not kidding either.
I'm over here reading some of the chats while I'm in here. But yeah. So just something to think about, guys. If whether it be me, Bob, John, if you got a situation and you feel like it's a dead deal, don't lose hope. Figure it out. Like, that's literally your whole job as a real estate investor, is like, we're professional problem solvers first, and we're real estate investors second, right? Like, some of my best deals is because I solved somebody's problem. So that's kind of like what I want to go ahead. Sorry,
I was just going to say that investor thing is just a title. Our job is solving problems. That's what we do.
You don't even have to call me CEO. Call me the fucking janitor if you want. Like,
that's what I tell everybody. What's your title?
The janitor. I'm a janitor.
I do everything from. That's it. I do everything from janitor work all the way to whatever is needed to get the job done. That's my job. That's my
people what we really do when they ask us. We say, we buy and sell houses and properties, but really we talk to people that have extreme problems and we solve them.
Yep.
Daily.
Right. So I guess from here on out, does anybody have any questions?
Love to answer some questions. It looks like we just hit 19,000 members during this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Just saw the number. It is confirmed we've hit over 19,000 members on REI Rev. I can't wait.
Phenomenal.
Man, absolutely incredible. And I can't wait to show y'all what we've been cooking up, man. I know we've been hyping it up for a while, but it's really been coming along here. So I'm excited. Good morning, Mr. James and Miss Nakia.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
Hey, Nakia. Good seeing you.
Hi. Well, I just wanted to know how much effort do you put into chasing a lead and finding out who an owner is? Because I'm running into, I think the last four houses. And I don't know if it's I called the auditor and they don't even have it on record that the house was sold, but the guy information that I got that was off file, he said he hasn't owned the house in over 4 years. So what does that mean?
What are you using for data to see who's on title? Because public information will show you who's on title for something. And so
the county auditor.
Okay, so it is showing that his name is on title then, right?
Yeah, the guy's name that I talked to is on the title, but he says he hasn't owned it in 4 years.
It sounds like he's either lying to you or they might have done some sort of transaction where they never recorded the title change.
There you go.
Um, but is it a coincidence? This has happened like the last 3 or 4 houses I've done. It's like, are they just not
Uh,
up?
you might be onto something, to be honest.
4 times, yeah.
4
Yeah.
times sounds like, man, there's one of those got to be a deals. One of those got to be a deal.
I keep telling my team, once is an accident, twice coincidence, 3 times that's a trend. You're onto something.
And I drive by it all the time and I see that it needs work, but nobody knows who really owns it.
Okay.
So why don't you take a snapshot or a copy of the public records with that person's name and send it to them. Go, I believe you, but this is what I see on public. This is what the county auditors is showing, that you are the owner. So
I did.
what's going on?
I did. And his
Okay.
name's still on it. And he was just like, I don't know what that's about, but.
Huh.
And then.
Use a little fear too. Use a little
I'd be like-
fear. You can go back and say, hey, well, the county is still showing that you're on the tax rolls, which means that, ultimately they could come after you for the taxes.
Well, taxes are paid up, but
Yeah,
they're still in his
it's
name.
it's a fear factor,
I don't know. I mean, I believe that sometimes you just gotta let it go, but this seems like okay.
I mean, do you have other leads to follow up with and work on, or are these
Yeah, definitely.
Well, there you go.
I'm not gonna stop, but it's like, are these worth putting more attention into?
Have you ever considered asking them who they sold it to? Who'd you sell it to? Maybe it's the same person. Maybe it's the same person buying all these. They say they don't know.
They said they don't know and they don't have that information anymore. It was 4 years ago, and because I asked, well, do you have a contact number for who you sold it to, or do you have any information that way? And he was just like, no, that was a while ago. Me and my wife have moved on, and I just said,
keep us
okay.
This has happened 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
There's something there. Mr. James, I know we're getting close on the time here and everybody's going to run back into the workday. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm brand new to wholesaling, and I'm mainly doing it virtually. I'm from South Carolina, and I'm in the market of North Carolina, like Raleigh, Durham, and High Point and all that. I was just wondering if you guys had any advice to, because for me, I'm brand new to it, and talking to people is not, say, my best forte. So I choke up a lot when I have to cold call people and everything, and I just get super nervous. I was just wondering if you guys had any advice to, as how I could, get better at that.
Well, you're in the right community for one thing. Just keep showing up to these live streams every day, Monday through Friday, at the same time, roughly. Okay, and keep asking questions in the chat. This is a safe, atmosphere, environment that John has created. So just ask questions, and there are a bunch of people who can answer your questions. But the most important thing, James, is just make sure that you keep taking action. Okay, every day. Okay, keep taking action. And
Yep. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's the key. That's the honest truth. The key to it all. Learn a little bit, and take action. Learn a little bit more, take action, and so on and so forth until you keep learning.
Right. Yeah, and I've been trying to do that more, just because even now I'm choking up a little bit, and just speaking in front of people is just it's nerve wracking for me.
Mhm.
And so I made a couple calls earlier yesterday, and it just didn't go so well, just because because I felt confident before calling, but when it got to the moment, it's just like everything, hit me all at once, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to, I don't really know how to go about, how to talk about the property I'm looking at. And so, I've just been trying to get out of my comfort zone and just, like you said, like talk more and, ask more questions.
Well, first thing that I'd say, man,
Well, I think number one.
yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was going to say, number one, I want to commend you because you are doing something that obviously you are uncomfortable doing. So that being said, in order to keep going, what you really need to do is kind of change the state at which you're in when you get nervous. So if it's, there's a couple of reasons people get nervous. One, they don't think they have all the information, right? So then they get into analysis paralysis. I need to know everything before I can talk to somebody. And the truth is, you only need to know what you need to know to talk to them. You don't need to know everything. It comes in baby steps. Number two, if you're just getting nervous because of the idea that you're just talking to somebody, like you said on this call, you're just talking and you get nervous, then what you need to do is, if you're used to sitting down, stand up. Stand up, start jumping up and down, get hyped up. It really is a matter of changing your physiology that will change your mindset. Remember your why and say to yourself, I'm going to call them and I'm going to solve their problem.
Right. Well, I really appreciate the advice from you guys. Yeah, I feel like, yesterday when I made yesterday was my first call ever, and like I said, it just didn't go so well just because I got so nervous, but I found, one thing that kind of helped me was just like kind of standing up, walking around, and I was able to keep somewhat focus on, the situation and everything, and I felt it help a little better, so maybe that's, what I need to start trying a little more.
Absolutely, man. And I think Sean hit it right on the head as well. The only thing that I'd add is don't be afraid. Like Sean said, you got to restructure the way that you approach that fear, right? That fear, that anxiety. Turn it from fear to excitement, right? The things that make you anxious should excite you. You should approach those things, right? And I like to just put my faith, faith in what I'm doing, like that I have a result that's waiting for me that's positive, right? You got to think that whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're working towards is going to work out. And it might be a little, difficult or scary or new to you, but every single time that you get on that phone and you make that call, you're getting one step closer to where you want to be, and you're really creating the characteristics that you need and strengthening the skills that you need to embody that person that you'd like to become. So get very clear about what it is you want out of your life, who it is you want to become. You won't be able to attain it if you don't know what you're working towards. Like Sean said, you got to have that why. Get very specific about why it is you're doing these things, because there will be inconveniences. It will not always be easy, and this goes at all levels. I talked to a guy, he's selling a multi-million-dollar house. He was in the oil and gas business industry, and he was saying, like, people are broke at all levels. 1 in 4 millionaires are living paycheck to paycheck, right? It's a mentality. You got to get very clear as to what it is you want, and then you've got to work relentlessly towards that every single day. And it might look different. The amount of effort that you can put in every single day might look different, but you've got to stay consistent, and you've got to continue to work towards that worthy ideal. So don't feel afraid. Have faith that what you're doing is going to work out. I say have faith in the Lord, man. He'll make a way. He always does. So just move forward with that faith and remain positive, and just know that your time's coming. Just don't give up.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the advice from you guys, and thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely incredible call today, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, you've got to invite somebody to come and be a part of the #1 most valuable real estate community in existence. You need to send them that link to reirev.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the website is almost done. I'm going to tell them we got to push out something by the end of this month. You will be able to get on there. I will make sure of it, okay? We will have that marketplace out there for you all to be able to start submitting these deals. It's going to be a great opportunity for private money lenders, people that want to fund these deals. It's going to be a great opportunity for flippers, local investors that want to buy these deals, and of course, an incredible opportunity for the wholesalers of the community that want to get their deals sold. Guys, make sure that you head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm going to add it in the chat here. You're going to be able to catch all of the replays. We do this all for free. There's no other opportunity quite like this anywhere on the internet. Make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube and follow us on Instagram. And we will catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Love y'all. Stay safe.